Hi guys, welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and horoscopes. Today we're going to be doing a reading for you guys born in the year of the sheep. So welcome back all my sheepy friends. How are we doing this week? Let's find out, shall we? As we shuffle these cards up and down, we move them all around and we pick out 3 for you guys. Let's see if it's going to be a nice positive week, or if we're going to have a few dark clouds to contend with, shall we? Let's start about there. And we're going to take that one from the bottom, we're going to take that one from the middle, and that one from the top. What have we got? Okay, so we've got a white, black, and a white there. 2 positives that outnumber that negative. However, as I've said before, I'll say again, I'll say it every single time. White isn't always all right, and black isn't always an attack. It all depends on that compatibility of the cards when we flip them over. The first card we've got then is the white dog. Not a bad card for sheep people and dog people. They do have things in common. They can be relatively compatible. They can get along. It's also in the positive, so we don't have any cause for concern here. It is a communicator card. It's from the communicator triangle, the talkers, and that is a good sign, at least as we move into this negative, because it means that you're not shutting things out. Rather, you are in a position of speaking your mind, maybe standing your ground. It's almost like you couldn't care less whether anybody likes you right now, or if anybody is, judging you or upset with you, because you're not seeking approval. You're not seeking any kind of validation. You're voicing your concerns because they're genuine. You're talking about these things because they are real-time issues. They're things that may affect you. They are things that affect people that you care about. These are things that could affect, a wider audience. You see it. You actually see it for what it is. You're not just looking at it, you're actually being aware of it. You're taking it in. Your observation in this example is actually your saving grace. This is something that you say, well, actually, I was there, I witnessed this, I've seen this, I've experienced this, I've been there. This is why I'm so passionate about speaking out. See, if you were passionate about speaking out with no first-hand experience, people are going to question it, and they're going to say, how are you so confident when you don't actually know what you're talking about? You have no experience or sort of, thing here. You have no input here, but that's not the case. That is not the case. That dog is, again, allowing you that freedom of speech, that freedom to talk based on logic, based on fact, based on your own witness statement or experience with this particular thing. Now, this particular thing could be a bit of an interesting one. It could have been a bit of a negative, a bit of a hindrance, a bit of a blockage on your pursuit, but I don't see it that way. I see it as arguments. I see it as a few little spit spats. People, may disagree with you. I see it as boundaries being pushed. I see it as how far people can, or this thing could wind you up if you allow it. And if you allow it to wind you up, then it will succeed. And that's when communication will start to shut down, because you're not going to be taken for a mug. You're not going to let people take advantage of you. You're not going to let people start to condescend you. You're basically, as I said before, you're standing your ground, you're standing up for yourself, and you're speaking out. And this is good. The consequences of this, the feelings of others, this kind of, now you're going to get some arguments back, or some sort of conflict because of your opinion, because of your perspective, because of your experience. That is going to be unavoidable, unfortunately. However, your perspective, your opinion, your experience, they're all one and the same, because they all come back down to fact. And that's what you need to remember. That thing that you're experiencing is real. That thing that you are trying to share, that thing that you are warning people about, that thing that you are going on about, that people may condemn you for or put you down for, or be, a little bit hesitant to listen to you over, that's on them. That's a them problem, not a you problem. As that old expression goes, you can take a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. So you can lay out all the evidence, lay out all the experiences, lay out everything that you've got, you know, video footage of it, CCTV, eyewitnesses, a whole portfolio and presentation with a overhead projector and everything. PowerPoint, the works. And there are still some people that are going to argue with you. And I think that's a lesson here in itself. You need to distinguish the people that are actually smart enough to go, well, actually, this is obviously real because here's all the evidence. And those are the people that you want to address. They are your target audience. Wasting your time with those that potentially will argue with you for the sake of arguing with you, which it could well be, is that people just want to, as I say, wind you up, maybe manipulate the situation, maybe even unintentionally gaslight you. They aren't your target audience, and they are also not the ones you need to waste time with. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to get defensive. You don't need to waste your time or theirs with your presentation, because they're not going to receive it no matter how you put it, no matter what you say, no matter what you do. They are not going to receive it. Focus on the audience that is applauding, that are cheering, that are asking for, you know, an encore and giving you a standing ovation. They are obviously the ones that are going to listen to you, more so than the crowd that just sits there in silence, huffing and puffing the entire time. We are looking, of course, at another positive here, but it's more than that. It's a catalyst card, and it's not just a catalyst card. It's obviously from your triangle, because the pig and the sheep go together incredibly well. You are in that triangle of affinity. So we're not looking at anything harsh from this. What we are looking at, though, is a slow change and things starting to be a bit more productive, a bit more progressive, a little bit more comfortable for you, because, as I say, as you start to find your crowd, as you start to find those that are a bit more inclined to listen to you, you're going to feel a lot more confident, I would say. You're going to feel a lot more comfortable. You know, the sheep and the boar, they go together very well and have many things in common. So as this change, and again, as I say, it's a catalyst, so it's a moment that is going to happen where something phases out and something new phases in. We can then start to leave this time behind us, and we can then start to move forward. But it is going to be a slow process. That pig is a slow transition. Rome wasn't built in a day, and this is going to take longer than that. So whether this is love, friendship, business, work, whatever, what you need to remember is it's going to take time. Not just time to talk to others around you, not just talk to people in like your fan club, if you like, or those cheerleaders, but it's also going to take time for them to then instigate what it is that you're wanting to instigate. For example, you could, going a bit biblical here, but you could preach to the village all day long about the floods coming and how the rain is coming, because it started to rain and it started to flood, and you've gone, look at this, the dam has broken, look, the river has burst its banks, look, the next thing logically is we are going to flood, the village is going to flood, and we are all going to drown. We need to do something about this. Those that won't listen aren't going to listen, and they'll laugh it off, and they'll mock you, and they'll gaslight you, and they will try to belittle you in some sense or form to stop you. But there will be those that do listen. They go, oh, actually, yeah, you've got a point. There is a point there. Yeah, I can see that, you know, yesterday I was walking down the road and my feet were dry. Today I'm wading knee deep in water. Obviously, there's a cause for concern, and they are going to listen and pay attention. But you may have convinced them. They may have convinced themselves. They may, you know, be on board. But now you've actually got to get them to do something about the flooding. You're going to build a boat? Are you going to evacuate? Are you going to put all the houses on stilts? Nobody knows, and the flood's still coming. It's still happening. It's going to be a slow process. Determination is the key, persistence, and that passion, because you know that you're right. And we'll find out whether you sink or swim next week when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the sheep. My next reading will be for those born in the year of the monkey, so if you're interested in what those guys are up to, I'll see you over there next. If not, no worries, I'll just catch you in another reading for the sheep people next time. Thanks for watching. Love and peace.